Ugh, ads are such poop. Subscribe to Acast Plus now to skip ads and more for just $1 a month. Click the link in our show notes to learn how. And hey, we're on Patreon too. Your support helps cover the cost of running a podcast. For $2 a month, you can get early access to all our episodes ad-free, plus bonus episodes exclusive to Patreon subscribers only. Visit patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse to sign up now.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
It is a truth universally acknowledged that it is always the right time to read, talk, and think about Pride and Prejudice. But why is it this book that we universally acknowledge? Why has Pride and Prejudice lasted for over 2 centuries as the most famous romance novel of all time? This season of Hot and Bothered, award-winning journalist Lauren Sandler and me, Vanessa Zoltan, are looking closely at Pride and Prejudice, interviewing experts, and trying to figure out what this book has taught generations of readers about love. Listen to Hot and Bothered wherever you get your podcasts.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.
Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys?
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband!
Wife!
Do you know what we're doing today?
Well, it's Sunday?
So it's time for Sacrilegious Book Club.
Yeah, that's the one. So what are we covering today?
Well, we are still in a treasury of Jewish folklore, and I forget what the subtitle is, but it's some long thing.
I'm sure you'll find it here in just a moment.
Yeah, it's stories, traditions, legends, humor, wisdom, and folk songs of the Jewish people.
Yeah.
Edited by Nathan Azubil.
Yeah, that's the one.
Now you see why I couldn't remember it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we are in a section called Riddle Solvers.
Riddle solvers, huh?
Riddle Solvers. And
so do I get to solve some riddles today?
I have some
things. Or do
things.
they solve them for me?
I have some things to say about it.
Some things.
I have some things to say about this
in
section.
The next section or which section right now?
Yeah.
Right now?
Oh, in the next section of this podcast.
In the next section. Okay, yeah.
Not of the book.
Got it.
I will talk about the section of the book that we're in.
Got it. Now I understand. Let's go ahead and get into this shit.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so Riddle Solvers picks up on page 87.
Okay.
And there's an intro to this section, and I'm just going to read a couple sentences here. Okay?
Got it. Yep.
Complicated bits of argumentation, mathematical puzzles, conundrums, clever retorts, ingenious wordplay, all were pleasant diversions to drive away tedium, especially during the long winter evenings in the ghetto towns and villages.
Or when you're reading the Bible.
Yes, indeed. Hundreds of riddles and stratagems which taxed the ingenuity were thus cooked up in those idle hours by the plain folk and bequeathed from one generation to another like precious gifts.
Yes.
Okay? I mean, that really kind of sums up what this whole book has been about thus far. Not just the riddles. They've all kind of been riddly.
Bequeathing?
Bequeathing.
Is that what it's about?
No.
Oh.
Oh, my God. What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
Okay. So, I said in the intro
I just
that...
like bequeathing. The word bequeathing. It sounds fun.
Passing on to somebody.
I know what it means.
Okay, well, it's just that...
But just say bequeath a couple of times and tell me it doesn't sound like a fun word.
Well, it sounds kind of like queef.
Yeah.
That's why you like that word, because it sounds close to a funny word.
Saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Queef.
It's fun.
Queef. Okay?
Whatever. Okay.
Okay. So, in the intro, I said I had some things to say about this section.
All right, you say those things.
Okay, here's the things I'm going to say.
Say them.
I was expecting this section to be fun because
Riddles.
it's riddles.
And things.
Yeah, and thus far, all of the stories that we've read about wise men and, like them sussing shit out. And
sure.
Some of them have been better than others.
Right.
Some are funny. Some are like, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
And some have been stupid.
Right.
This was just more of the same.
Okay.
This was no more riddly than any other section.
Got it.
And as a matter of fact, the stories weren't as good.
So don't get your hopes up is what you're saying?
Well, I'm just letting you know.
This is a hell of a way to lead into our episode,
I'm just okay, look. I'm here in the book club sharing my opinions about the pieces of this book.
Right.
And this is not my favorite section.
I mean, at least people know we're honest.
Yeah.
Like, we don't make you wait for a shitty episode. We're just like upfront about it. We're like, this is gonna suck, guys.
Well, I mean, some of them are okay. It's just that, okay, remember when Solomon, the wise king, right?
Yes.
The wisest of the wise, right?
Right.
And one of the things was, oh no, these two women are fighting over a baby. Which one is the real mom? And so then he suggests that they tear the baby in half, and the one who declines to do so is the real mom. Yay, the end, right?
Right.
There's a similar story in here.
Okay.
Only instead of a baby getting cut in half, it's this guy is leaving his estate to his children, but then right before he dies, he finds out that his wife had been cheating on him, and of his many children, only one of the boys is his true son.
Don't give it away.
No, I'm telling you the story.
Okay.
What?
No, we gotta read the story still.
No, I'm not reading that story.
Oh, you didn't say that.
I'm not reading that story.
Okay.
I'm telling you that this story, why I'm not reading it, is because we've already done a similar story.
Got it.
Okay, so I'm just summarizing it.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, he finds out that only one of the kids that he thought were all his, only one is his.
Got it.
All of the other ones are because she's a cheaty McCheater pants.
Sure.
Okay, so then in his will, he leaves all of his possessions to his only true son.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally, my only true son.
Right.
He doesn't know which one it is.
Sure.
So it's up to the kids to figure out, well, which one of us is the true son.
Right.
So the priest tells them, or the rabbi tells them, okay, well, all of you go clamor and make noise at your father's grave, for his ghost will surely rise and tell you which one it is.
Okay.
And all of them except one go, and the one who stays behind is obviously the real son, because he's the only one who didn't want to disrespect his father's gravesite. So it's very similar to the, tear the baby in half, and whichever one decides not to do that.
Got it.
Doesn't follow the advice.
Yeah.
That's the real one.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, that's not a riddle. That's just more of the same stories like what we've been reading.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm not reading that story.
Got it.
Okay?
Okay.
But here's one that I'm like, okay. And it's called The Way to Serve. And all of these stories are just so similar. Okay?
Got it.
And this one comes from the Midrash.
Okay.
Okay, it's called The Way to Serve on page 91. A merchant from Jerusalem traveled on business to a distant city. While there, he fell sick and before long found himself at the point of death. Thereupon he called the man in whose house he lodged and entrusted him with all his possessions, both merchandise and money. He then said to him, a young man will be coming soon to you from Jerusalem. You will know him by 3 clever things he will do. He is my son, and you must give him all my possessions.
Okay.
All this time, the dying man's son waited impatiently for the return of his father. Worried by his prolonged absence, he decided that his father must have met with a misfortune. He therefore journeyed to that distant city in search of him. He knew the name of the man in whose house his father lodged, and so as soon as he arrived, he went to look for him. Now the townsfolk had agreed amongst themselves that should a stranger arrive and ask for this man, no one should divulge where he lived. They did as they had agreed, and the poor orphan was very much puzzled. I don't know why they agreed to do that. They just randomly were like, we're not going to tell him.
Right.
He finally fell upon a stratagem. He called out to a woodcutter carrying a load of wood, I would like to buy your wood. And after they had agreed upon a price and he had paid for it, the orphan mentioned the name of the man for whom he was looking and asked the woodcutter to deliver it to him.
Okay.
The woodcutter walked ahead carrying his load, and behind him followed the orphan. When they reached their destination, the woodcutter cried out within the gate, calling the man by his name. "Come and get your wood!" "Wood? What wood? I never ordered any wood from you." "Maybe you didn't," replied the woodcutter, "but this young man here did. He paid for it and he asked me to deliver it to you."
Okay.
Surprised but grateful, the man said to the youth, "Peace be to you," and he invited him into his house.
Right.
"Who are you?" asked the man. "I am the son of the man who lodges in your house and who has failed to return home." The man entertained him graciously and in his honor ordered a feast prepared. When they sat down at the table, the servants placed before them 5 roasted pigeons. The host, wishing to show his guest honor, said to him, "Be good enough to serve." But the young man declined the honor, saying, "No, thank you. You are the host, and the honor belongs to you." However, when his host insisted, the young man agreed and began to serve. 1 pigeon he gave to his host and wife, another he gave to the man's 2 sons, and another to his 2 daughters. For himself he kept 2 pigeons. For the evening meal, they had a stuffed chicken. Again, the host very politely asked his guest to serve. The young man agreed. He gave the head of the fowl to the host, the gizzard, heart, and liver to the hostess, the legs to the sons, and the wings to the daughters. For himself, he kept the body.
Okay.
Out of patience with his guest's conduct, the host said to him, "Is this the way you serve in Jerusalem?" "Did I not decline the honor when you tried to force it on me?" answered the youth.
Okay.
"However, I will explain to you what I did, and then you'll see that I acted correctly. At noon today, I had to serve the 5 roasted pigeons. I gave you and your wife 1, and so together with the pigeon, you numbered 3. Your 2 sons and a pigeon, and also your 2 daughters and their pigeon, each numbered 3. And so to keep the number just and equal, I had to take the 2 remaining pigeons for myself." With regard to the chicken, he served so that each group was a group of 3.
Okay.
Okay? And in his head, that made him have 3, or
Okay.
have 2 pigeons.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
No. But
Okay.
that's what these all are like that. Do you get it, though?
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
okay.
Man, wife, and pigeon
Yeah.
equals 3. Son, and pigeon equals 3.
All right. Sure. I guess.
With regard to the chicken, because you are the head of the household, I gave you the head. I gave the insides to your wife, because from within her come forth your children. Because your sons are the pillars of your household, I gave them the legs. As for your daughters, I gave them the wings, because in God's own time they will fly away from you with husbands. For myself, I've kept the body, which, as you see, has the shape of a boat, for tomorrow I'm sailing home."
Okay.
"The Lord be praised," exclaimed his host, overjoyed. "You are truly the son of your father, for I know you by the 3 clever things you have done. The first with the wood, the second with the roasted pigeons, and the third with the hen." Then he returned to the young man his father's fortune. The end.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what, all of these stories are.
That
And
was really dumb.
it was dumb, and that was one of the better ones.
Wow.
Can you see why I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one on page 93. How to replace a treasury. How to replenish a treasury.
Okay.
This is from the Agata. Okay?
Yeah.
The Emperor Antoninus once sent a message to Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi with the following question. The imperial treasury is rapidly being depleted. Can you advise me how to increase it? Rabbi Yehuda did not answer. Without a word, he led the messenger into his garden. Then he went quickly about his work. He dug up large turnips, and in their place planted little turnips. He did the same thing with beets and with radishes. Seeing that Rabbi Yehuda was not inclined to answer him, the imperial messenger said to him, "Give me a letter." "You need none." The messenger then returned to Antoninus. "Did Rabbi Yehuda give you a letter for me?" "No." "Did he say anything to you?"
He grew his garden.
Neither. "Did he do anything?" "Yes. He led me into his garden, dug up large vegetables, and in their stead planted small ones." "Now I understand what his advice is," exclaimed the emperor.
Oh my God.
Immediately, he dismissed all his governors and tax collectors and replaced them with less industrious but more honest officials who, before long, replenished the imperial treasury. Yeah, that
take out. I got it. Okay.
These are not riddles. These are just Solomon stupid stories.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
There's another one where a daughter is trying to find out if this guy is smart or not. So she gives him she gives the eggs to her father to pass on to the guy that's staying with them. And so the father eats some of the eggs and then gives the rest to the guy. Okay. And then, so she asks the guy, something about like how many days till the end left in the month or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he says only 2 days. And so she's like, he gets it. He said the right answer. And the father's like, the fuck are you guys talking about? Right? And the daughter's like, how many eggs did you eat, father? He had eaten 2 out of the 30 eggs. And so that's why he said there's like...
What does it have to do with anything?
He understood that by asking about the number of eggs.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How many are left?
Really dumb.
Yeah, that's all of these. Like, I marked a couple more, but I'm just like so irritated that I don't want to read them.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Okay.
Let's just let's call this one a loss.
Yeah, I'm so disappointed, and I feel cheated and robbed because I was really looking forward to this.
Maybe the next section will be better.
It better be.
Because that was trash.
That was trash, right? I mean, okay, we've read some really good stories in this.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed some of them.
No, some of them have been good.
These were all just more of the worst ones.
Got it. Okay.
I'm glad you're in agreement with me.
I mean, it's a good place to do it. It gets you hooked in for a little bit and then throw in some bad shit, Like hopefully that's not the remainder of the book.
These wise men, they're just like, I coughed and I farted at the same time. Tell me what that means.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like...
It means your flatulence is...
But they all have like this wise person who pulls something out of his ass and makes it be like, oh, the fart is like the mountains.
You could take any action and attribute a wise thing to it.
Right?
It's a matter, but like a riddle or a whatever is something that anybody could glean from the same information.
Right, exactly.
And that's not how that worked there.
Exactly.
So that's whatever. It is what it is.
I mean, like, what's that one riddle about the shadow is, I don't know, tall at the beginning and then grows short or something? This has to do with, like, the length of the day and how old you are. You start the day old and end up young or some shit like that.
Sure.
I forget.
Yeah, I don't recall.
Anyway, that is a riddle I can wrap my brain around because it makes sense.
Right.
There's another one, like... you're walking along a fence and there's some posts missing and what does that mean? And it's your teeth or something.
Got it.
Yeah, like I get these.
Right.
But these I was like, no.
Right.
I'm not with you there.
No, I agree.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you agree with me.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Let's just go ahead and call us done.
Okay. Done.
Because this was I'm kind of disappointed in it.
I'm irritated.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. I hope you're angry.
But like maybe,
alongside.
Maybe next week will be better.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna hold out for better. Not next week, but 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be better.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be disappointed twice in a row.
No, because this book has had some good stuff in it.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe, leave an Apple review, join us on Twitter, support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
It is a truth universally acknowledged that it is always the right time to read, talk, and think about Pride and Prejudice. But why is it this book that we universally acknowledge? Why has Pride and Prejudice lasted for over 2 centuries as the most famous romance novel of all time? This season of Hot and Bothered, award-winning journalist Lauren Sandler and me, Vanessa Zoltan, are looking closely at Pride and Prejudice, interviewing experts, and trying to figure out what this book has taught generations of readers about love. Listen to Hot and Bothered wherever you get your podcasts.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.